Welcome to XIO Voice. Continuing from the previous episode 154. A dense poison fog lingered in the air of a small valley in the northern region of the fallen god stream. This fog made it difficult for one to clearly see the interior of the valley. If one looked from a closer spot, one would coincidentally see a couple of figures standing in it. They were Xiao Yan's group, which had just obtained the monster core and the essence blood of the sky poison dragon scorpion beast. Based on what Xin Lan has said, the Ice River Valley's experts should have already entered the fallen god stream. Perhaps they will find us quite soon. A bonfire was burning within the valley, emitting some light from the flame as Xiao Yan voiced his thoughts. Yes. Moreover, there is an existence at the peak of the Dozong class among those who arrived this time around. Xin Lan nodded. Her face was grave. The peak of the Dozong class, a strength was even greater than that of the sky poison dragon scorpion beast. Although Xiao Yan currently had two 8-star Dozong beings around him, it was likely very hard for them to obtain the upper hand in such a fight. After all, the peak of the Dozong class was the strongest among the experts below the Dozun class. The little fairy doctor and Tian Huo Zun Jie by the side also nodded. They had a good understanding of this level. Even with Tian Hu Zun Jie's pride, he had no choice but to admit that it was extremely difficult for him to fight an expert at the peak of the Dozong class in his current condition. Hence, we must settle the body of old Mr. Yao or the woeful poison body of the little fairy doctor before they find us. Otherwise, it is likely that the situation will not be favorable. Xiao Yan spoke with a serious tone. The little fairy doctor and Tian Huo Zun Jie nodded when they heard this. In this current situation, the strength of either of them would soar if they could settle their respective problems. Thus, they would have the ability to fight even when faced with an expert at the peak of the Dozong class from the Ice River Valley. You should help old Mr. Yao refine a body first. He was an elite Dozun in the past. Even though he might not be able to quickly recover his peak strength after he obtains a body, it should not be difficult for him to advance to the Dozun class. This woeful poison body of mine has never been completely controlled by anyone in the past. We are not certain what will happen after it is controlled. Therefore, I suggest that old Mr. Yao should have the priority. The little fairy doctor mused for a moment before she gave a serious suggestion. Xiao Yan revealed an expression of deep thought after hearing the little fairy doctor's analysis. Helping Tian Huo Zun Jie first was indeed the safest bet. The woeful poison body is a unique natural body. When it erupts, even an elite Dozun must temporarily hide from it. If you are able to control it, it is likely that your achievements will be extremely shocking. Tian Huo Zun Jie fondled his beard as he slowly spoke. Old Mr. Yao has praised me too much. The little fairy doctor curled her lips and smiled. The little fairy doctor is right. I will help old Mr. Yao refine a body first in order to resolve the current threat. Xiao Yan nodded and finally made his decision. He continued in a deep voice, in that case, I will first resolve old Mr. Yao's problem. I will now begin refining the Yin-Yang Life Soul Pill. All of you must guard me during this period of time and should avoid leaving this place so you don't attract any trouble. Xiao Yan ceased hesitating after making up his mind. He immediately began preparing after saying he would do it. His body moved and appeared on an enormous rock in the valley. With a wave of his hand, the 10,000 beast cauldron appeared and remained steadily suspended in the air. The little fairy doctor and the others nodded when they saw Xiao Yan begin to refine the pill. After which, they slowly withdrew and guarded him. Xiao Yan waved his hand and a jade-green flame appeared. After which, it was randomly thrown into the medicinal cauldron by Xiao Yan. He rubbed his storage ring with his hand and numerous medicinal ingredients continuously flew out of it. Finally, all of them remained suspended in the air as well. Xiao Yan's eyes carefully observed these medicinal ingredients. After finding that there was no problem with them, he slowly shut his eyes. The medicinal formula of the Yin-Yang Life Soul Pill slowly flowed across his mind like flowing water. The various key points regarding the refinement were being familiarized by Xiao Yan at this moment. Xiao Yan's eyes were opened a moment later. He gently inhaled a breath of air and moved his finger. An extremely bright and beautiful flower rushed down. However, strangely there was a person's face at the center of the flower. Its eyes, nose and mouth were all lifelike. Looking at it gave one the creeps. Ghostface flower. The name of this flower flashed across Xiao Yan's heart. This was one of the key ingredients in refining the Yin-Yang Life Soul Pill. It was extremely rare. Xiao Yan did not know just where Xin Lan had obtained it from. However, it seemed that she had put in a lot of effort to gather the ingredients. Xiao Yan glanced at this flower that gave one the creeps. He flicked his finger and the ghost-face flower was thrown into the medicinal cauldron. The jade-green flame swept over and wrapped around it. Ah! The ghost-face flower had just been tossed into the flame when waves of black vapor were emitted from it. At the same time, a screeching baby cry was reverberated from the medicinal cauldron. Xiao Yan knit his brows. He did not expect this ghost-face flower to be this strange. However, regardless of how strange it was powerless to resist a heavenly flame. A thought passed through Xiao Yan's mind and Do Qi covered both of his ears, isolating the baby's cry as it did so. He clenched his hand and the flame's temperature suddenly soared. With the great increase in the flame's temperature, the black vapor emitted from the interior of the ghost-face flower swiftly became fainter. In the end, it completely disappeared. Having lost the protection of the black vapor, the ghost-face flower immediately withered. The human face also gradually disappeared. Around 10 minutes later, the flower finally burst apart and turned into a pile of dark black powder. Xiao Yan did not immediately withdraw the flame after the powder appeared. Instead, he grilled this pile of powder for some time until it revealed a cold luster. Only then did a thought pass through his mind. The cluster of flames wrapped around the dark black powder and left it suspended in one corner of the medicinal cauldron. Xiao Yan took a fist-sized red-colored fruit after having completed refining this ghost-face flower. Wave after wave of dense, cold air poured out of the fruit. Soul Revival Demon Fruit. This strange fruit is really beneficial to the training of spiritual strength. It is likely that I need to prepare a little more of it in the future for any unexpected situations. Xiao Yan's eyes swept over that red-colored fruit. He flicked his finger and threw it into the medicinal cauldron. While Xiao Yan continued the refinement of the medicinal pill, the medicinal ingredients suspended in air were gradually thrown into the medicinal cauldron. Xiao Yan was extremely careful about refining this pill because he knew that if this yin-yang life soul pill refinement were to fail, the matter of Tian Huo Zun Jie's revival would be delayed for a period of time. In the face of the great enemy descending upon them, they no longer had much time to squander. The little fairy doctor and the others stayed 100 meters away while Xiao Yan was refining the pill. No one emitted the slightest sound, afraid they would disturb his pill refinement. Moreover, all the poison beasts within a 1,000-meter radius of the small valley were expelled or killed by the little fairy doctor and Tian Huo Zun Jie through all sorts of means. They performed their roles as protectors quite well. Time swiftly flowed by while Xiao Yan undertook a retreat to refine this pill. 2 days passed in the blink of an eye. The area to the south of the fallen god stream, where the sky poison dragon scorpion beast resided back then, was completely quiet due to the sky poison dragon scorpion beast having been finished off by Xiao Yan's group. At this moment, it was completely quiet. It was no longer covered in a poison vapor like it had been back then. The enormous rock fortress appeared exceptionally empty. It no longer possessed the domineering aura that existed when the sky poison dragon scorpion beast was residing in it. Waves of rushing wind sounds appeared 1,000 meters from the rock fortress. A moment later, many white figures appeared on the flat land outside of the rock fortress. Old Shi, the energy ripple that we sensed 2 days ago should have originated from this place. An elder's gaze swept around the rock fortress before he respectfully spoke to that old man at the side, who was holding a snake walking stick. There is no longer any aura in this place. The old man who was addressed as Old Shi paused his eyes on the rock fortress as he faintly commented. From what I know, this should be the Sky Scorpion region. It is managed by a sky poison dragon scorpion beast that has reached the strength of an 8-star Do Zong. However, from the looks of it now, another old man frowned and revealed what he knew. Sky poison dragon scorpion beast. Old Shi narrowed his eyes and slowly said, "This place has the remnant aura of a corpse. If I have guessed correctly, that fellow should have been finished off." What? That fellow possessed the strength of an 8-star Do Zong. Even in this fallen god stream, it is one of the few such existences. Who is able to kill it? The remaining people exclaimed after hearing this. Other than the corpse aura, there are traces on the ground that show that it has been grilled at high temperature. Clearly, it is someone who possesses a great control of fire. From the remnant souls of the Ice River Valley's disciples back then, I discovered that there is a young man among them who controls a kind of extremely powerful flame. If I have guessed correctly, this should have been done by that group. Old She grabbed some grass and gently pinched the blades. The grass turned into dust when he did so. Done by that group? They are this strong? The expressions of the remaining 3 white-clothed elders changed. That was an 8-star Do Zong. They were able to easily kill Bing Fu and the 2 others. What is there to be surprised about them being able to fight with an 8-star Do Zong? Old She faintly smiled. He slowly stood up and turned his eyes to the north of the fallen god stream. His shriveled face revealed a strange smile. However, the air still possesses the remnant aura of the sky-poisoned dragon scorpion beast. It is likely they took its monster core. We should be able to find them if we follow this aura. Old She is wise. The 3 white-clothed, old man rejoiced and respectfully praised him when they heard his words. Old She randomly waved his hand. He gripped the snake walking stick and slowly walked to the north of the fallen god stream. A faint laugh was slowly being emitted from him. The old me is really becoming curious about this group of people. Not only have they housed the poison lady, but they have also come here to kill this sky-poisoned dragon scorpion beast for no reason. Haha, not bad. The 3 old men behind faced each other. They immediately let out cold laughs. They really did not know whether it was those fellows' misfortune or honor that stirred the interest of Old She. Those who offend the Ice River Valley will not come to a good end. What pitiful individuals.